What is going on, Wolfpack Nation? Welcome to another Tuffy Talk live show, y'all. We are 10 days away, y'all. Can you believe it? We're only 10 days away. In fact, now we're actually less than 10 days, Greg. We're actually in 9. So Greg, I know you got it, man. So let me know, man. So we got 9 days. How many hours? How many minutes?
Yeah, so we should have like nine days, 23 hours, and like 50 minutes. Let's get the official here. Let's go. Let's see.
That's right. If we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it right.
Yeah. All right. So 9 days, 22 hours, 51 minutes, and 30 seconds on the dot.
Let's go. All right. Let's go. It's gonna be so sick.
Think about this. Next week when we do this podcast or this live stream, we will be in game week mode.
I know, dude. It's crazy. I mean, so much talking about this season, you know what I mean, about the what ifs and exactly just like you said, 9 days and 22 and a half hours.
Yeah.
We're gonna, instead of talking about it, we're actually gonna see it and see
we're gonna be about it.
So, we'll talk a little bit here, starting off about the Meet the Pack Day this past Saturday. Talk a little bit too, as again, I mean, can't really share too much about how the closed scrimmage was that Savage Wolves put together, but there was about a couple thousand people, I think, that, or not even.
No, it was a couple hundred.
Couple hundred, sorry, couple hundred,
500 people.
500 people that attended the closed scrimmage on Thursday, provided by Savage Wolves and Wolfpack NIL, y'all. So get some great insight into how the team was going to look. Seeing some of the guys finally in action, like the Noah Rogers, the Hollywood Smothers, all these guys, and finally seeing what the team is going to look like. So again, if you haven't already become a member of Savage Wolves and Wolfpack NIL to get exclusive access to amazing events like that, that is definitely a huge benefit for sure. So again, make sure to go and check them out, y'all. Get involved, put your money where your mouth is. If you want the state to be great, then again, make sure to definitely go and sign up today. Let them know Tuffy Talk sent you. So, but anyway, y'all, so we got Michelle and T-Crab already in the chat. So again, y'all, any questions, comments, concerns, requests that you have, thoughts that you have, make sure to put them in the chat, y'all, and we will get to all of them here today. But again, y'all, we're super excited. So let's talk a little bit here, Greg, starting off about Meet the Pack Day, man. I mean, I mean, a great turnout seemed like, for sure. And got to give a huge shout out to Kevin Concepcion, man. Start off as that guy literally signed every single autograph that was requested of him. And even after all the tables were folded up around him and everything was put away, Casey's table was still there.
There you go, right there.
There it is, Casey number 10.
Yeah.
It's almost kind of funny that, like, I wonder how long it took Casey to shorten his signature to just literally just KC number 10. Because if, gosh forbid,
I think I lost them. Don't know what happened late in there, but are you there? You back now, buddy?
I'm back. My fault, bud.
No, all good.
But yeah, thoughts on Meet the Pack Day. Go for it.
Yeah, Casey's line was absurd. If anyone's ever been in the Close King indoor practice facility, he was about the 20-yard line. He went all the way back to the wall, and it basically covered the whole back wall the whole night. It was insane. I hope like he was able to ice his hand down after that, because he was there. He was one of only two people that actually had a table set up. Grayson McCall was the other. Casey, for anyone that didn't see, I know Ryan Williams put out a tweet, and I think there was a couple other ones that were floating out there. He was signing 40 minutes past the close time. So he signed for almost 3 hours on Saturday. And so just to take the time, he signed whatever you had, took a picture, took a couple of seconds to chat with you. He was phenomenal. All the guys were phenomenal. And I want to kind of just mention a couple of folks because they kind of just really stood out. But K Noonkeister, he was phenomenal talking with kids. There was an instance where there was two kids, I'm assuming a brother and a sister. They were probably no more between 3 and 5 years old. And he's a tall dude. I mean, he's probably 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", somewhere in that. I don't even know how tall he is, but he's a big, tall guy. He got on the ground and sat with those two kids for about 2 or 3 minutes and just had a conversation with them and just basically made of them like the most important thing around, and that really stuck with me. Um, it was awesome. The guys were throwing footballs with kids. They were running, doing like 40s with kids. It was a good time. I definitely highly recommend anyone out there that, it's, people always want to say, well, what's in it for me for Savage Wolves and NIL? And these are the type of events that are great. The scrimmage, these events that they put on, it's phenomenal. It's a great opportunity to talk with the guys away from the field and just kind of get to know them on a personal basis. I had a conversation with some folks. My guys, Zach Myers, Dante Daniels, Isaiah Shirley, Brandon Cleveland. Those guys are just so cool, and just kind of get to know them a little bit and know where they come from and what makes them tick. And it's a fun event.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Greg, how many autographs did you sign, man?
I didn't sign any. I took five selfies with folks. So,
Man of the people.
It was awesome. One lady came up to me and says, "You don't know me. I'm sorry to bother you, but you met my son in Dallas. He's the guy in the Air Force." And I'm like, "Yeah, I remember him." Yeah. And so we talked for a couple minutes, and that's my favorite part of this whole thing is just we are one big family, and we're all in this together. Have one common goal to cheer on the Pack to win championships. And my favorite part is I just love meeting folks, and that was awesome. I appreciate everyone that came up. We had a couple of our Discord members come up and talk to me and take pictures with me, and I love it, man. I just love connecting with people, and I love kind of being an unofficial ambassador for the program.
Exactly right. I love it. And also too, another man, did I freeze again? Nope, sorry.
No, you're good. No, you're good.
Oh yeah. Anyway, one of the other benefits too, y'all, is again, with the Meet the Pack Day is that if you're a part of Savage Wolves, if you're part of One Pack NIL, you also got 30 minutes early access to Meet the Pack Day too. So that way you can go get that KC autograph, that Grayson McCall autograph before, first thing as well. So again, the benefits keep on stacking. If you're not a part of One Pack Savage Wolves, then I don't know how much more it's going to take for sure.
But I had my fun conversation. So Bishop Fitzgerald, Cooley, and Coley were all together, just kind of talking. And Bishop Fitzgerald's from up where we live here in Northern Virginia, and then they were like, "Oh, the DMV, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, DMV, love it." I said, "But we don't talk about the M." So anyone that doesn't know, the DMV stands for DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And so it's kind of where everyone comes together. And so I was talking with them. And I said, "We don't talk about the M Dewey guys." And they're like, what? I said, "Yeah, we don't talk about Maryland Dewey." Obviously from them transferring in from Maryland.
There you go. I like
it. Yeah. So again, it's just, having some fun with the guys, just laughing, joking. They are so appreciative of the fans just coming out and supporting them and giving them the time of day. I can't tell you how many times I heard the word "thank you." And really, we should be the ones thanking them for giving us their time as well. So again, it is a true partnership.
Absolutely, 100%. So jumping into a couple of them here. So T Crab saying, "Yeah, I got in early, which was nice." Charles saying the close scrimmage was fantastic. I met the players. I met the parents of a couple of players. Great folks for sure.
That's another thing. Like the parents, I talked to multiple parents, just having got to know them, and Cayman Smith's mom and dad, Devin Boykin's dad. They're such down to earth people, and that they have really raised great boys, great young men. And it truly does come through the program. I had a friend of mine who had lunch today with Coach Doran, and he was just talking about the character of these kids, and that really is a, they recruit the kid or the man more or almost as much as the athlete themselves, right? It is about that culture, and all the parents that I talked to spoke of the culture, especially Devin Boykin's dad, just saying his kid's going through an injury right now, and that they've been so supportive of him throughout the process, where a lot of teams and coaches could have easily turned their back on the kid, and if he comes back and contributes, great. If not, oh well. But that's just not what this staff is about.
100%. Yeah. No. Again, it's just such a thing that we talk about all the time, Greg. But how you can almost argue that Doran really values the person before even the player. And I remember when I was a football equipment manager, they always said, they always told the players that you're a student athlete, and there's a
Yeah.
reason why it's student athlete, not athlete student, because you're a student first,
Hmm.
athlete second.
Yeah.
So just a thing to remind everybody that that whenever players are struggling, things like that, that yes, I get that they're getting paid now for sure. So with that's going to come a little bit more criticism than if they weren't, which is fine. But just keep in mind, once again, at the end of the day, these are students. These are men. These are young men for sure. So just to keep that in mind
I,
as the season progresses, for sure. As again, not every player is going to play amazing every single game. There are going to be rough spots for sure. But go ahead, Greg. I
I
know you're
just
going
want,
to talk about.
yeah. I just want to say, like, how many of us had it figured out between the ages of 18 and 21, right? 18
Mhm.
and 22, 23, some of these fourth and fifth year guys. Again, cut them some slack, man. They're young men trying to figure their lives out and figuring out their place in society. And I was, again, and I don't want to take this for long, but I was just talking to Devin Boykin's dad, and we really had a great conversation. And just, I was asking, like, how's he doing, and he goes, well, he'll be ready. I was like, no, that's not what I'm asking. Like, how's he feeling? How's he doing? Like, because it is important, there is life after these guys are on the football field, and they hope to, go on and do great things in society. And it's just refreshing. And, he kind of thanked me for just kind of being the way I was towards him. And I said, look, all of us fans are very passionate. Some show it differently than others. And we all need to be a shining light to these young men and just encourage them in the good and the bad.
Yep. And then again, I mean, I'll go and get ahead of it saying, well, it's going to happen regardless. Yeah, no, I mean, again, there's going to be those fans. Again, every fan base has those fans for sure that, take it a little bit too far. But I'm just asking for everybody that's listening just to take that step with us for sure. Again, just stay positive. I mean, again, hey, look at last year with, Duke. And again, I'll definitely put myself on the bandwagon saying, hey, listen, after Duke, I don't want to say like calling players out like that, but I was definitely not. I was not feeling really too great about the rest of the season, but man, look how it turned out, right? So, just keep that in mind. It's never too late. Go ahead, Greg.
These just talking with my buddy, like these, and talking with the guys at the Meet the Pack, they know what's in front of them. They know the potential that's there. They know the talent they have around them. The coaches know what they have around them. They all know the goal and the expectation, and anything less will be considered failure is not the right word, but just maybe probably a disappointment. So they understand the assignment. They're ready to go hit somebody. What was the one sentiment? It's like, hey, how's camp going? Like, how you feeling? How you doing? And they're all just said they want to go hit somebody else. They're tired of hitting their own guys. So they're ready. They're ready, and I think we as fans are ready. And I think we're in for something special this year.
Well, again, and we talked about it plenty on the season predictions, Greg. And which, by the way, too, if you haven't checked out part 1 and part 2 yet, make sure to go check those out first. So those are both live. But part 3, where we go over the final 4 games, including Georgia Tech, Duke, UNC, and one more. I forget, Stanford. Make sure to go and that will come out tomorrow at 4:00. So make sure to check that out too. But there's just a different aura about this team. That these guys aren't hyping themselves up. They it's not like we hope, it's that we expect. Like we're there. We know what it's going to take, and all we got to do is just go out and just execute. That's really all this is. And this team's got the talent. It's got the schedule. It's got everything. It's got everything it takes to be an ACC championship team. So now it's just all about going out there and executing. As simple as that. So
yeah, they know. I mean, the coaches know the lofty goals. Like there's no like, well, maybe this will be our year. No, like everyone is beaming with confidence, and so it's just now the coaches are going to put these guys in the position to be successful, and then it's up to the players to become successful.
That's right. Well, and again, too, I mean, and one thing which I don't think we necessarily discussed either, but the ACC doesn't really have that one team that's just like, oh my, like maybe like the Trevor Lawrence years where it was like so
it was
stacked,
understood.
where
It was understood.
Where it was like, okay, that team's going to be really tough to get past. Like, no, I mean, I think Clemson is wide open. I think
there's question marks on all these teams, right? I think that's the point you're making.
There's big question marks. There's big question marks. So,
and look, State has question marks too. Like, is Grayson McCall going to be able to step up to the Power 4 level and perform like he did in the Sun Belt? Is the defense going to be as good, or equal as they were last year, minus Peyton Wilson. Like every team's got to have question marks, and it's just a matter of, okay, figuring out what you do well and just emphasizing that.
That's right. Absolutely. So anyway, so let's talk a little bit, as we just had a NC State football recruiting
Yeah, it
flip,
was here
and
in
also
the chat too. Yeah.
yeah, and so we definitely want to also to talk a little bit of NC State women's soccer as well, as there's been some conversations about that real quick, so we'll discuss there. But North Wolf saying Randy Woodson needs to give Greg an honorary degree. Randy
I would
Woodson.
display it proudly.
Well, I was going to say, Randy Woodson, as you're heading out the door,
Yeah.
this might be one cool thing to just to kick down the curb. We would definitely be all here for it for sure.
Absolutely.
So anyway, so let's cover those two topics, since we don't get a chance to do it really often under Tuffy's weekly rewind. So let's jump into it. All righty. So again, y'all, so it was just announced that former Duke commit Garrett Kemp, 3-star athlete, who from Dacula, Georgia, class 2025, recently just flipped over to NC State. He's listed on 24/7 as a wide receiver, the number 95 wide receiver prospect in the country. But per the Wolfpack, he's actually going to be playing cornerback.
That makes more sense. We have a lot of depth at wide receiver.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, a great get for sure. And again, it's just so impressive to me once again, Greg, how like it just seems like so many things are clicking at so early for this class 2025 before we even kick off the football. Like that's the craziest part. We haven't even played one down of football yet for this season yet, and we're already pretty big in terms of our recruiting class already. Again, I mean, with guys like Gus Ritchie, Will Wilson, quarterback, you got Gary Kemp as well, who's added on to already a pretty loaded recruiting class here. So it's just awesome to see. And again, especially too, because I mean, I think that for us, we're not necessarily a team that's reliant on high school recruiting. Like, we definitely want some of these guys because we feel like long term these guys can develop into elite prospects. But listen, at the end of the day, these are guys we want, not necessarily guys that we need. We can always use their transfer portal later to get guys that we need. But again, just I love the potential here with Garrett Kemp, a guy that shows, I mean, again, 6'3", 185 pounds. So got good height to him, great speed. And a guy with multiple pretty big offers: Cincinnati, Ole Miss, Duke, App State, Coastal Carolina. So a couple of great offer lists there. So, excited to have him as a part of the Wolfpack family.
Yep. This is the season where you'll see kids commit, decommit, flip, all of that. Expect some more of this. Hopefully we're more on the positive, bringing in than the negative. We did just have a kid last week decommit and flip to the U, Micaiah Newton, edge rusher. So again, you're going to get guys that, for whatever reason feel that, they're, a better fit somewhere. The guys that State has maybe recruited, you're going to have to keep recruiting those kids. You're going to have to, you keep recruiting kids, even if they go commit to another school. It's just, that's what it is. And I get excited. I enjoy following it. I don't get like too worked up. I know Macon kind of feels differently if he were here, but it is fun following it and seeing, where what we're angling for and who we're angling for and who we're angling against. And so the battles are kind of neat to follow, but I don't get too wrapped up until they sign the national letter of intent, and then I'm like, okay, we got our guy.
Yeah, I mean, and to also to even add, I opened up his full offer list, and he has Georgia offer, he has a Kentucky offer, LSU offer, Michigan State offer, Tennessee offer. So multiple big time SEC schools that have offered him for sure. So again, I mean, just even say that schools like that were interested in him, I think says a lot about, the prospect that he is. So
yeah, I think there was this one kid out there. It's again, some of it becomes comical. I'm pretty sure there's a guy that's committed to Auburn that has committed to Auburn 3 times now. Like Auburn decommitted, went somewhere else, and then committed back to Auburn, and then committed somewhere else, and now he's back at Auburn again.
Yeah.
So again, it's interesting and fun to watch. It's great that we're in the mix for these kids. These top level recruits that are being recruited by SEC schools that now we're competing with the top dogs in a lot of these gets, and we're not just quote unquote we're not fallback schools for some of these guys. Like we're going against the Alabamas, the Georgias, the SEC schools, the Big Ten schools, and look, we're winning some of these battles now. And I think again, if you go out and prove it on the field this year, and you go win an ACC championship, and go get a college football playoff berth, that's when you can start building these things. I look back to the year that Clemson won their first national championship. Like, they were good, but if you get in there and win one, then you just get that momentum. Look at Georgia. Like, Georgia became a juggernaut once they won one. People want to gravitate to winners. And so if you can just break through and then continue to build, like you can dominate.
Well, and that's the thing that kind of like excites me, but also like it just not to say scares me, but just like
It's nervous energy
of like what's going to happen, if we were to pull off winning AC championship and getting a college ball playoff appearance. Like bro, like imagine basically what we saw from basketball in terms of momentum, but for football, like, oh my gosh, it'd be crazy.
Yeah,
which I'm here for. I'm not complaining about it, but just like I can't even imagine it.
I always look back on that year that we missed the field goal down in Clemson. Was that 2018, 2017, 16? Yeah, see, that's why I try to put it out of my mind. But
yeah,
I always look back, like, what if we win that game, we get propelled in any of these situations. Emeka doesn't fumble at the 1 yard line. Devin Carter makes a catch against Miami. Like, these are opportunities where if we're just a play or two. Coach Doran was talking about this today with his luncheon with some of the folks that I had the pleasure to talk to. And look, it's that is the fraction of winning and losing, right? And taking that next step. And I think, again, if you can just get that breakthrough, the 10th win, like, just keep building on the block and keep building and building. And then, next thing you know, you've won. And I'm not saying State's going to do this, but you keep doing these things, you're going to win championships, whether that's at the ACC level or even higher, potentially at the national level.
Yeah. Kyle, I see your question. Northwolf, I'll get to yours first. Are we taking more recruits because of us going to 105 scholarships? It seems like it.
Yeah.
I mean, here's my thing, Greg. Before I'll just it'll be very short, and then I'll hand it to you.
Yeah, for sure.
Handling a roster is basically impossible. Like, typically the more seniors you have, typically the bigger that recruiting class is going to be. But again, I mean, with the transfer portal, it's to me, it's kind of a little bit of like planning a wedding where you want to have this many people. But you're going to expect that. So, but what you do is you invite 20% more, right? Because there's going to be a certain amount of people that you expect are going to say no.
Yeah.
But it's kind of an estimate. So I think that with, your recruiting class, it's a little bit of not only how many seniors you have, but how many people you think are going to be, are going to be, what's the term, like kind of asked for in the transfer portal, and who might leave, and then depending on how many actually does leave, things like that, how many returns for another year, then you kind of make decisions on maybe who you say, all right, maybe it's best that we go our separate ways, things like that. Like, again, unfortunately, those conversations are going to happen now, just because, again, I mean, it, as much as more people leave than you expect, it could be the opposite, where not as many people leave as you expect, and now you have all these guys that you've offered scholarships to, but you only have so you have 17, but you only have room for 15, and you're like, unfortunately, we're gonna have some of these tough conversations. So that's kind of where I'm at with it, Greg. So I know you were a little bit concerned at first about that wedding metaphor, but I think it worked out, right?
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, you expect some people will politely decline, and then you'll have some that will accept the invite and then just won't be able to make it because life happens.
Yep.
Yeah, it's interesting because I've definitely heard Coach Doran speak on it. Like, they've created the organization, if you will, the football department, like a pro team. You have like essentially what is a general manager, and kind of they have like their scouting department, right, which is your recruiters, and so you've seen them set this up to where you kind of have an idea of where your pieces are going to be moving, and of course it's going to be always somewhat fluid, and so you want to make sure that you have all your angles covered, and you want to have that developmental piece to it, right? So you think about the freshmen that you bring in, that you redshirt, that's basically your practice squad. It will be interesting to see with the new numbers, if there's going to be like walk-ons within that number. It's going to be 105 period, or you could have 105 scholarships plus still walk-ons. Like, I haven't really heard how that's going to work out moving forward. But yeah, it's changed so dramatically where because now the head coach has even more obligations, right? You see the head coaches at the Wolfpack club, talks, things in the community. You have the NIL events that they have. Like, they can't be everywhere at all times, so they really are relying on that staff to do even more these days.
Agreed. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Getting to Kyle's question, I'm going to my first college football game next Thursday night. So excited. What should I expect?
I have questions about this.
I do too.
Kyle, are you a student first and foremost? Like, are you like an adult? Are you a teenager? Like, because depending on how the answers, like, there's so many things you can go and get involved in at the game. I think, I think my favorite, if you've never been to a college football game, especially, an NC State one, Walk of Champions, I think would be my first recommendation. Definitely just, if you're tailgating, then obviously enjoy that. But if you are just kind of going, just walk around, take it all in, all the sights and smells. And, if you're in the Reno West a lot, come see me. And if you're old enough, we can partake in an adult beverage. Just enjoy it, man. Just you get out and get in the stadium a little bit early. Make sure you're in your seats for the flyover. Those are my things. What do you got, Leighton?
Yeah, no, I mean, I couldn't agree more. I mean, first of all, I mean, I'm assuming that since he's here, he's talking about NC State football game, even though
okay, 26.
He just said I'm 26, just getting into college football.
All right, late bloomer.
So again, we're assuming that he's talking NC State here, but yeah, for NC State, I would say, yeah, arrive early for sure. Go ahead and get parking, because I mean, the closer you get to game time, the worse the traffic is. So go ahead and get there, get settled, walk around. Yeah, check it out again. I always love doing that, walking around the stadium, just seeing what's going on, checking out the tailgates, things like that. It's a lot of fun. And then definitely go check out the Walk of Champions. Just again, just take it all in. It just but I mean, definitely go check out. Get there early and go check out what is it called? Like the
Fan Fest.
The Fan Fest. Yep, the Fan Fest area, which is really cool. Okay, Kyle says, yeah, state game. Okay, cool. Great. Good to hear. But yeah, no, again, appreciate you tuning in, Kyle. And definitely, again, just expect it's going to be a great time. Super excited. We haven't seen yet the new entrant. So excited to see that. The new entrance video. It's going to be awesome. But again, it's going to be a night game. It's going to be lit. It's going to be high energy. We're going to talk about it here in a second, but it's a sold out game. So
I like that last one. Yep. Band Nerd.
Yeah.
Check the drum line. They're fun. Yeah. Hang out around PNC. That's a good time just to see the band warm up. The band entrance just going into the stadium. Like that's pretty cool. Like, again, right after they leave the Walk of Champions, they get ready to head into the stadium. I think that's just what that's what my favorite thing about college football is the pageantry, all the the traditions and all of that stuff. It's what makes it better than the pros. I'm sorry, I will die on that hill. I enjoy going to a pro game every now and then. I will still follow my Bucks. I couldn't I know the players on Tampa Bay, but it was so funny. I was talking to the guys again at Meet the Pack, and then I'd say someone's name and whoa, like, how do you know my name? I was like, how do you know my number? I was like, I'm part of a podcast team. I got to know this information. And then, so the fans were like, how do you know who that is? I'm like, oh, I just watch the games. And it's an addiction. It is my drug of choice.
Yeah. Well, and because lastly too, because at least for NC State wise, I mean, unless we get the honor of hosting a college football playoff game, you only get typically 7 home games
6
a
to
year.
7, yep.
6 to 7 home games a year.
Yep.
So typically 7, but yeah, sometimes 6, sometimes 8.
Sometimes.
But so 7 years. So I mean, I say 10 take advantage of every single minute you can of every single game. Because again, I mean, you only get 7 of them a year. So like be there as early as you can, stay late, hopefully enjoy the win. Have a drink or two,
Responsibly.
if responsibly, if you're over 21. So yeah, that's kind of what I say to any State fans, like, the people that show up right, 30 minutes before the game and then leave before the game's completely over. I'm sitting there like, okay, like, you do you. I mean, especially if you have kids at home, I completely understand. But I'm also saying, like, again, just you look forward to this time every single year, and again, you only get 7 of them, so why waste it? But anyway,
Kyle, to answer that question, and please, you're good. And if you want to join our Discord, do that. We'll definitely put a link in here so you can ask all the questions from all the different fans we have. So many people
right now.
Yeah, go for it. So many people just enjoy doing their thing, and people have traditions at their tailgates. But the Walk of Champions, 90 minutes before kickoff. Is it 90? I think it's 90.
No, it's 2 hours.
Is it 2 hours? It is 2 hours. You're right. My apologies. I never get over there because I'm always throwing tailgates. But 2 hours before the game, the buses pull up with the players right in front of the Murphy Center. The band is there. The cheerleaders are there. A lot of fans, a lot of parents are there to welcome the team off of the bus, and they go right from the bus into the Murphy Center to get prepped for the game. It's a real good time. It's right in front. If you've ever been in the Murphy Center, it's right in front where the Wolf statues are. And get there a few minutes before the 2 hour mark, just because it could be plus or minus a couple minutes.
Yep.
It's a good fun time. So if you've never been, at least do it once. I always say, people that come to my tailgate, I always try to bring them over there just so they can get the full experience, because to me that is part of the game day traditions.
Yep. The Walk of Champions, yeah, absolutely. So anyway, Road James kind of brings up here in terms of, so here's my dilemma. I have strong family ties to NC State and have been a NC State fan for my entire life, but I did my undergrad at Western Carolina. This game should be fun.
I got this.
You got this?
Yeah.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Just wear your state shirt.
Yep.
Maybe wear 2 shirts and wear your WCU underneath of it.
Sure.
You're here on an NC State podcast, so I feel your ties are stronger with NC State, but
much stronger. Yep.
Or you can maybe wear a state shirt and a WCU hat. Again, you need to make sure state is the prominent object or piece of apparel in this. And wear your school colors with pride. You went there, you earned your degree. You should have some school pride, but just remember where you are.
Amen. Yeah, exactly. Like, if for anybody who's for some reason has a conundrum where they're a diehard NC State fan, but they got their undergrad at UNC, I mean, good luck to you. Maybe a little bit of different rules. Not necessarily, it's not necessarily one size fits all.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Exactly. But I do want to talk a little bit because I didn't have it as a tweet of the week, but the Vegas line did come out for the game, and State is a 33.5 point favorite with the over under at 60.5. So basically, Vegas is putting this game at like 47-14, 47-13.
Yeah, 50-10.
Well, yeah, that'd be a 40-point spread.
I know, but we're gonna win by 40 is what I'm saying. I'm take the points is what I'm saying.
Well, I see. Here's my thing, and I'm only saying this because, I mean, I'm very confident in terms of Tony Gibson's defense for sure. But are there a little bit of growing pains, just a little bit, So honestly, if I were to make a bet, and if I were a betting man, which I don't anymore, but I'd actually bet over on the NC State point total. I think we score at least 50. So. I think we score at least 50.
Yeah, my concern with a point spread is like how many of the young guys are going to get in and, maybe potentially give up some points. I don't see a big drop off in talent. I think we have a lot of great, 2 and 3 star, good grief, 2 and 3 deep players, depth chart guys. But yeah, that does worry me if you get out to a big lead and, the potential is there for
exactly.
The Catamounts. That's a cool name, by the way. Catamounts.
That was my high school mascot name. So, yeah.
Yep.
Catamounts.
Anyway, no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I think if you get some of these young guys in, what happens then? To your point, I think that's kind of where you're leaning.
Exactly. But yeah, y'all, again, got Packapalooza coming up this Saturday. So that's going to be awesome. And then a volleyball exhibition game at 2:00 on Saturday. So make sure to go and check the team out as well. We do also want to talk a little bit about women's soccer, y'all. There's been some conversations for sure. And I think for honestly that I know, Greg, I have made comments before about, a couple weeks ago being like, how great is it that us NC State fans right now that we don't have one single coach on the hot seat, like even flirting with the hot seat. And by no means am I saying that Tim Santoro, the head coach for women's soccer, is on the hot seat for sure. I do want to talk a little bit as definitely and I know it's super early in the season, aka the season literally started last Thursday. But being that they tied 0-0 to App State and lost yesterday to ECU 1-0, knowing how stacked ACC is at women's soccer, especially now adding Stanford and Cal. But you got Louisville, you got Notre Dame, you got
Carolina,
UNC, very, very good. Clemson's got a
UVA
great
women, yeah,
yep,
Clemson,
UVA women's very, very
yeah,
great. So
yeah,
and being that you've seen Bucor again take steps, even with some of these, more non-revenue
non-revenue.
programs like men's soccer to make
Mhm.
a move. So for me, Tim is, and especially too because Tim's been at NC State for he's been here since 2010, I believe. So he's been here at NC State for a long time. But I'm looking at, obviously he's right now 0-1-1. Last year, overall he was 3-9-6, 2-5-3 in conference. 2022, he was 7-7-6, 2-6-2 in conference. Which keep in mind that's wins, losses, ties. Just in case anybody's confused. And wait, how's there three numbers as a part of a record? And then 2021. He was 9-9-2, 4-6 in conference. So he hasn't had a winning overall record since before COVID, and he hasn't had a winning ACC record since before COVID as well. But I mean, it's just crazy to think
Wasn't
about.
there a nice little run though in the
Yeah,
tournament there at
they're
some point?
correct. In 2022, NC State actually made it 6 consecutive NCAA tournament, which is only one of 6 teams in the ACC to do so during that time period.
Yeah, so that's
And also too, I mean, like he definitely took NC State to a new height. That NC State women's soccer has never seen that much success. But especially too, NC State women's soccer had 2 really stud players, starting off with Jamise Joseph, who was the second ever player to be drafted from NC State in the NWSL draft, behind the number 8 overall draft pick back in 2020, Ziara King. So again, 2 studs there for sure. But my kind of question is, does there come a time where Boo Corrigan decides to, see if he pulls trigger? Now, I think he would only pull the trigger if there's somebody like he did with men's soccer that's just like a home run, like, oh,
yeah.
this guy would be perfect for us. I don't think that you're going to necessarily consider letting Tim go on a lottery pick. Like it would have to be somebody that you feel extremely confident, if not, a for sure thing that he's going to be able to build on what Coach Tim has been able to build here at NC State and take it to that, ACC contending level, that top 25 contending level, things like that. So again, we're still super, super early in the season. Want to say that once again, I completely understand and know that things can change, things can figure itself out. But the fact that we can't score one single goal against App State and ECU is very, very concerning. With the fact that ACC is only going to be extremely more difficult. So, Greg, thoughts?
Yeah, I will admit that I follow it from afar. I don't
Yeah.
know all the ins and outs, especially with the rest of the ACC. But on the
Yep.
surface, it would seem that you should be able to there's a reason why you schedule these teams early in the season, right?
Yep.
And you typically have your softer part of the schedule and then work your way into the conference. You probably have 1 or 2 maybe really marquee, if you will, out of conference game, something that you want to hang your hat on for a resume. So yeah, it would seem concerning on the surface, but not knowing enough, I definitely will reserve judgment from saying something. But to the point that you were making, Boo has, he's not afraid to pull the trigger if that's what's necessary to get some fresh blood in there.
Yep.
Yeah, you would want to make sure you're making a move for success and not just making a move to make a move.
Correct. Yeah, and I mean, because even point out, Greg, even to what you were saying, I mean, from where was it? From 2016 to 2021, NC State advanced to the second round of the NCAA tournament each one of those years.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, he's had great success for sure, but the problem is now you're seeing 3 years. You've seen the
Feeling a little
last 3
stale,
seasons
maybe,
in a
right?
row where it's been a little bit stale, a little bit behind the 8 ball in terms of being towards the bottom of the ACC, and so eventually that crown that you had on your head of being, a coach that took an NC State program to the second round 5 straight or 6 straight seasons in a row,
Yeah.
is going to eventually wear off because again, we like even though that's great, we got to be moving up. We can't be
Yeah.
moving down and
Yeah,
just
you can't
be looking at the past.
Yeah, you can't just
So
be happy with your current success or your past success, right? You got to
yeah,
continue to move forward to whatever your ultimate goal is.
exactly.
Once you start getting stagnant and getting stale, um, you know, uh, it sometimes you need to infuse new life, new
Yeah,
blood into it, and get people
yeah,
to listen to the messaging because let's be real, like Coach Keats was kind of that person last year, right? And they
hmm
did figure it out. So to your
yep,
point, it's still only the second game. There's still a ton
yep.
of season left. I mean, ton is relative. I don't know. What do they play? Like 15, 20 games maybe?
Yeah, yeah, 2024 games, something like
Yeah.
that. It's not
Like I said,
much.
I just kind of follow it. Follow it from afar. I'm not all up in
Yeah,
there. I've
yeah,
never, and it's nothing against the women. And even I could say that about the men's soccer. I'm not a big soccer person. I don't really understand the game, so I don't really speak about it a lot.
yeah,
It's they, yeah. Anyway,
yeah,
so,
yep.
but I mean,
Well,
I hope they do well. It's something. It's a sport that I definitely want to get out to and just
yeah,
put it on the checklist that I've been to an event, especially when they're free.
yeah,
They don't, So yeah, hopefully they get it turned around.
yeah.
I did see they have
Um,
the new kits, and those look pretty cool.
They
So
do. Yeah, the new kits, yeah, the new uniforms for us,
yeah,
the Americans, lingo.
yeah,
But yeah, and also too, I mean, again, I'm super, super excited to see what men's soccer can do under new head coach
yeah,
Mark Hubbard,
yeah.
who came over from New Hampshire, which is a big time college soccer program. So yeah, a lot of buzz there. Super excited. He's got a lot of his guys that transferred from New Hampshire to state to be a part of his program. So, so definitely there's talent there already. That knows his culture, that knows his style, his system.
Mhm.
So I'm fully expecting. I think I saw the preseason media votes came out for men's soccer, and we were put as like right below the middle of the ACC.
Okay.
So
That's pretty
I
good for a
fully
first year.
yeah, but I fully expect that he's going to be right in the middle, if not flirting with towards the top of the ACC. I have high expectations for this team already in year one of Coach Hubbard. So anyway, so all right, y'all. So let's jump on over to some tweets of the week and jump into a little bit more football. Once
Wait.
my what you got?
Oh yeah, it is football season.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Dang, that's crazy. All righty, y'all. So first of all, to Rob Hankins saying, "Have you guys heard that Tennessee got the #1 offensive tackle for 2025?" Yeah, cool. Sounds good.
They can recruit. I'll give them
Yeah,
that.
they can recruit, but can they take the next step? That's the question. They've flirted with greatness, but haven't quite gotten it done. So
One,
and I mean
speaking of Tennessee, and we'll definitely talk about this. I'm curious about Leacock. Like, was he? That was someone that we were
Nathan
targeting, and
Leacock.
we'll definitely
Mhm.
get into him when it comes to game week. But
Yeah.
yeah, good for them. They're bringing in talent, but
Mhm.
they're still playing in the SEC, man. Like
Yeah.
we
Well, and
talked about
again,
it. Like, what was it? Texas A&M was like ranked number 15 in the country or something like that preseason, and they're the 10th best SEC school.
yeah,
Like,
exactly
okay,
right. Exactly right. I mean, just like Michelle says right here, the entire
yeah,
state of
yeah,
Tennessee cheers for Tennessee.
yeah.
Yeah,
They
I
literally
mean,
own the state. They're like
the
Nebraska. There's only a few states like that where they are the flagship school.
even though they literally have another school in it in Vanderbilt, but just
Yeah.
again, I mean, like the James Franklin days of Vanderbilt are long gone.
People in Nashville don't even root for Vanderbilt. They root for UT. I
I
mean,
know, I know. Well, but again, I mean, like, listen, Tennessee has stupid amount of money
yeah.
that at its use between football, men's basketball, women's basketball. I mean, again, that's why even though Kelly Harper has had success, at Tennessee, in terms of comparison against most programs in the country, at the end of the day, Tennessee's got high hopes, especially for a women's basketball program as historic as Tennessee. But I mean, again, look at what men's basketball has done. Won won the SEC regular championship, regular season championship.
They won a tournament.
And then with football, obviously, with the history it has. So, yeah, no, again, no shocker there. Road Jamie saying ETSU's 6 fans would have something to say about that. East Tennessee State. That's funny.
Yeah. Kenny Chesney being their probably most prominent one.
That's true. That's a great point. But anyway, Greg, let's jump into it, man. So it was announced today that the Western Carolina game is officially sold out. So if anybody is looking for tickets, unfortunately, going through the NC State website is not an option anymore. So make sure to go check out SeatGeek, StubHub, Ticketmaster, wherever you get your third-party tickets, and
Facebook Marketplace.
Wherever, student section tickets, wherever you can get them. Make sure to go and again, let's go pack this stadium red and make a hashtag statement game 1, and again support these guys. And what I expect to be, again, super high energy again, especially being a night game, 7:00 p.m. It's going to be awesome. And again, expecting to really just put the whole ACC, the whole nation on notice game 1, and hopefully have a very dominating performance against Western. So again, unfortunately for Western, I feel for you, but I mean, this is
somebody had to be the sacrificial lamb.
So somebody has to be a sacrificial lamb. And again, I'm hoping for sure that this doesn't come back to bite me, that this game is actually way closer, even somewhat close. It shouldn't be that. But I feel very, very confident in stating that this should be, unfortunately, a just slap the living crap out of Western Carolina, and unfortunately,
what are you predicting, Leighton? What are you predicting? A what?
It's funny. Every single time you say it, every single time you ask me to say it, I always forget my own daggone saying.
A donkey stomp.
A donkey stomp. Golly, man, dude, I know. See, that's why I'm saying like all that just comes off naturally. It doesn't, like, it's not even like a note I have here to say it.
I try to set you up and you just.
I know. Absolutely blew it.
All right, that's all right.
Maybe I do need to have a note here of my own.
Yeah, just a little sticky right there.
Well, my own trademark saying.
Your little catchphrases.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so yeah, but again, y'all, so super excited that NC State's card filling is gonna be sold out, packed out, which I'm not really shocked about.
Think about that. If you have an FCS team coming in on a Thursday night opening game, an opening game definitely helps, and there's a lot of buzz and a lot of feelings in this team, but to do that on a Thursday night, I mean, that speaks volumes to the fans themselves. It's not easy getting off work. A 7:00 game is a lot different than a 7:30 or 8:00 game, and you got to fight traffic, and it's an effort, and it's a choice. So that's awesome to see that we're doing these types of things.
Now, here's my one thing, Greg, because I mean, I'm definitely a huge proponent of what Doran has pushed, which is we need NC State fans there for the entire 60 minutes. Obviously, they're still doing handouts, so if you want to take advantage of that, that's your call. But then our request, just like Doran's, which is be back in your seats before the third quarter even starts. So that way you're there to support the guys every single second that clock is ticking, that you're there to support the guys and do what you can to help these guys win. But being that's Western Carolina, being that's Thursday night, I'm just going to go ahead and get ahead of it right now. That I assuming that the game goes as I expect, which is we're up pretty big.
Should be over by halftime. Should be over by halftime.
Up big by halftime. Being that school day the next day, being that people have to work the next day, I'm going to go ahead and get of it and say, if you need to take care of what you need to, do what you got to do. I get it. But at the end of the day, if you can swing it, support these guys, man. Enjoy it. Because even the second string guys, again, I hate even saying it as if the second guys are string guys, it's knowing they're going to get in. But no matter what, just if you can swing it, let's continue to support these guys throughout the entire game. And then once the clock hits 0, if you need to run for the exit and get in your car and go, completely get it. So that's my request, if you can make that happen. But at the end of the day, if you have kids at home, things like that, we get it. But but now if we have, because we don't have one more Thursday night game, or is this our only one?
We have one more Thursday, but that's a road game. That's at Georgia Tech.
That's what it was. Okay. So either way though, but for the other 6 games of the season, y'all, I'm looking you guys straight in the eye saying, I'm giving you this one hall pass. Take advantage of it now, because guess what? For the other 6 games, you're in your seats for 60 minutes from beginning to end, Period. Point blank.
Yeah.
We need to be all in together. We need to win every single game, and we need your help to do it. Period. Point blank. End of story. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Greg?
Yeah, I will never begrudge someone that you've bought the ticket. You can do whatever you want to do with it. I will always be there to the very end.
Yep.
Just think about, the game that I broke my leg in 2021. People had written that game off.
Mhm.
And I stay to the final whistle, no matter, if the score is, or the game has been decided or not. You said it earlier, you only get 7 no, granted, I try to make it to road and home game. So, but most people only get 7 opportunities to see their favorite team play. And, you should cherish every moment of it. The way these ticket prices are going, we're up to almost $500. And then with all your Wolf Club donations and your parking donations and your parking fees, like, just enjoy every minute of it. Enjoy every dollar, squeeze every penny out of your experience. But again, do what you need to do. I understand people got families, and it's just what it is. So, but I will be there. So.
And again, y'all too. I mean, Ro Jamie says it best. Don't even leave during halftime. Support the band. I mean, I can't say enough. Again, we're obviously huge supporters of the dance team, of the marching band, the cheer squad, all the above. Yeah. And so
they will work hard, don't they?
They work extremely hard. It's honestly, they're kind of the forgotten group. People don't really think about them until game day. But again, I mean, how much time and energy they put into preparing for game day. The least we can do is just do everything we can to try and be in those stands when specifically the marching band is performing. Because obviously the dance team and the cheer team is there throughout the game for sure, but specifically the marching band, check out the halftime show, y'all. We have an amazing marching band, so make sure to stay.
I saw that it's like one of the largest they've ever had, and they had to cut people. So think about it think about it in those terms, that it's going to be, there's over 400. I think it was like 438, 483. Like, it was some crazy number.
Absolutely. Ro James saying we always know Greg is still there when the AC Network shows him on TV every time out.
Like, I'm just trying to do my part.
That's right. North Wolf even saying we need to offer, Wolfpack Club needs to offer extra points for those in the seats at the start of the third quarter.
Yeah.
They need to have like 5 spotters up in the stands being like, all right, there's somebody in section 5, row N, seat 27, 28, 29, 31.
Scan. You got to scan. You got to scan in your phone or something like that. I don't know.
That'd be good. That'd be good.
And there's technology out there, I'm sure.
There is technology. Amen to that. So real quick, wanted to touch base on Just Means Less ACC coming out with their record predictions, and they have us going 10-2 overall, 6-2 in conference, with losses to Clemson and Georgia Tech. Again, I won't necessarily give away our thoughts on the Georgia Tech loss, as again, if you want our thoughts on the Georgia Tech game, make sure to check out part 3 coming out tomorrow at 4:00. But for Clemson, I mean, again, like, it's
tough environment.
Again, and now the interesting thing though, Greg, is that if we're 6-2 in the ACC, does that, in your opinion, does that get you an ACC championship appearance? It's hard to believe.
Probably not. Again, it just depends on the tiebreaker scenarios, and what losses are going to mean more. Because like, what was it, a couple years ago, we had almost as many losses as the team. I think it was the Wake Forest, right? The year we lost to Wake Forest, I think we had the same amount of losses, but because of who we lost to, we lost out on the tiebreaker. So, and
because they booked UNC in a non-conference matchup, even though they lost to them. Yeah, I know, it's huge, super frustrating. But yeah, I would say that if you have losses to Clemson, Georgia Tech, you're not controlling your own destiny. You need some things to work out to get you in. So, so again, hoping this doesn't quite happen. I'm okay with 10-2, but not the 6-2 in the ACC part. So
yeah.
So even got Bro Jamie saying I have a buddy I'm going with to the Clemson game who is a student. I may be in all red in the Clemson student section, which good luck to you, good sir, or madam. Appreciate you, Ro Jamies, for doing that. So anyway, jumping on to our next tweet of the week here. Got to give a shout out to NC State Sailing coming in with a little bit of a burn here, which for those who are not really sure what they're looking at right here with this, with this table, is that basically NC State and UNC accounts kind of got into a back and forth over, NC State being a rival only in football, but not in basketball or any other sport.
Yeah.
And basically, NC State Pac Sailing came in with a mic drop saying, "Well, UNC is not really a rival to us in sailing either because they have an 80% win percentage against UNC in their program history, 48-12 versus UNC in their NC State sailing program history." So love that Pac Sailing, a little bit of Salty Dave, esque in there. So appreciate that. So anyway, and then moving on as well, talk a little bit of baseball here, y'all. Got to give a huge shout out as Eli Serrano, who's in the minor league system right now, was a huge part in helping his team get the 7-6 walk-off win with Eli hitting a 2-run walk-off homer.
No, the home run was I don't think that was the.
Oh, it wasn't a walk-off?
No, I think he hit a 2-run home run earlier in the game, and then he had the walk-off hit, I think is what it was.
Walk-off hit. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sick. Yeah. That's what's up. Okay.
Yeah.
So again, I mean, definitely making a statement already early in his minor league career, and love to see that. Along with AMAC as well, who he did hit a walk-off home run.
Yeah, he hit his first home run yesterday. Yep, for the Cannonballers.
That's right.
Kinston Cannonballs or whatever it's the affiliate for the White Sox. But yeah, he's been tearing it up in his debut here, and I need to catch up on some of the other guys. I need to see how Sam has been doing, Sam Highfill, and I need to see Garrett Pennington. So I might probably do some research here in the next couple of days and maybe try to post some stuff on them. But yeah, it's good to see these guys getting out and continuing on their journey and their hot streak from their college season right into their pro season.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, just excited to see Eli and AMAC making an impact early. So love to see that. So real quick as well too, Greg. I mean, I do want to ask you this question, which is, how much money would you pay for this NC State bat? This NC State bat, man?
I would throw lots of dollars at this. This bat is so sick. For anyone that's listening in, this past weekend they had the Players Weekend in MLB, and so this, if you're not familiar with it, what it is they let the players kind of be themselves, be kids, if you will. And of course, Trea Turner,
for one game, right?
Yeah, I think it's the whole weekend. I think it might just be the one game. I don't know. I was so busy this weekend I didn't really get to tune into Major League Baseball. But so Trea was rocking an NC State bat that literally said Wolfpack and it had the block S. And the only thing that would have made this sweeter is if he had the Tuffy head on that. But he did have the NC State cleats with the Tuffy head on the toe. So those were pretty sweet Adidas's. But that's I would pay. I mean, for a game, first of all, a game used bat, you're already talking a couple of $100 there, typically. And then you just see what the art that they put on this thing. I would probably throw easily. My wife's over here listening, but I would throw $1,000 at this thing, no problem. If it were offered up.
Well, especially because it's
give me a signature on it too. Give me a signature on it.
Ooh. Well, either way, I mean, the fact that it's Trea Turner, arguably the greatest in-state baseball player of all time, arguably, and being that he hit a home run with this bat in the MLB as well.
Oh, yeah, walk-off.
Was it a walk-off?
Oh, yeah, yes. No. The other night he had the walk-off.
Okay, there he is. Yeah. So I mean, I mean, it's that's a pretty valuable bat. So I would say $1,000 price tag for this thing is definitely
easy.
Very, very easy for sure, if not higher. But I mean, I think it even says even more the fact that the home run he hit with this bat was the first homer that he's had in over a month. So a little bit of that NC State juju helped him get out of that little bit of a cold streak he had. So but anyway, so again, love to see it. Again, super sick gear for sure. And I really hope that in-state bat is not quite one of a kind, if you know what I'm saying. I hope there's a couple lingering out there that can be bought on eBay if needed. So
give me a call, Trey. We'll work something out.
That's right. We'll make it happen. Anyway,
I'm just telling you right now, if that thing shows up at a Pac-9 auction next year,
dude, just get the checkbooks out. Get the checkbooks.
Cha-ching.
I mean, no, that'd be big money. That'd be stupid money. So, but do want to give a quick shout out to all of the NC State students starting today, specifically NC State class of 2028, who started their first day of classes today. So, super excited, y'all, for y'all to get this year going. I pray that everybody has a safe and and successful year for sure. Go to as many NC State events as you can, athletics and non-athletics. Take advantage of it. And again, maybe go, toilet paper Randy Woodson's house maybe once or twice. Send them out with a bang, right? No,
Yeah,
I'm not promoting that, but hey, listen, go have some fun. Hey, listen, this is last year. I'm sure he would love it for sure. He deserves it. So love to see his involvement for sure. I'm sure it was probably a very emotional time for him, being this is the last class NC State that he's going to welcome as an official chancellor here at NC State. So but again, y'all, everybody have success. Get out there, enjoy your time, and be safe.
Look
Greg,
out for one another. Yeah, just look out for one another. If you see someone struggling, just lift them up, pick them up. We need everyone that started to finish.
That's right. And I mean, obviously, we'll just say it straight out that definitely the events that have happened over the last 2 years at NC State, with mental health has been super troubling for all of us, especially here at Tuffy Talk, as much as we're all alumni, if not honorary alumni, and so to see what's happened is definitely very troubling. And so if anybody has any students or is a student that is listening or watching this, please support one another. Again, college is challenging for sure, as it's preparing you for what it's going to take to be a successful professional adult in your career. But some people handle it better than others. So just please support. And if you're listening to this and you're having any kind of trouble whatsoever dealing with it, please reach out to somebody for sure. So I can't stress that enough. So anyway, Jumping got 2 more tweets of the week here to wrap this baby up. First and foremost, Gunner Rivers, Greg DeLeg here. Gunner Rivers, and you might say Rivers. Where do I know a Rivers?
Is that Sanaya's cousin?
Yeah, right. Is that Sanaya's cousin? I know, actually, and it's it's not quite actually, Greg. But yeah, Philip Rivers' son. Who is
Philip
right now,
Rivers. Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
I've heard of him. He was a decent cornerback, right? Cornerback.
I mean, he was. I think he was okay.
Yeah, he could do better. His throwing motion, he really need to work on his throwing motion, right? To take that elite step, right?
I think he'll be a great dad one day. Grow up to have many kids. I see that in his future.
I don't know, man. I see him being a one and done.
One and done.
But anyway, so yeah, Gunner Rivers right now is a sophomore quarterback. Threw for over 515 yards, if I'm not mistaken, in his first game this past Friday at his high school, and is already being ranked as one of the top 100 recruits in the class.
Number 60, I think, right?
Yeah, number 60, correct. Yeah. And at class 2027, I believe. 2027, and we already have sent him an offer. Here's the question I have, Greg, and I want you guys in the chat to let me know as well.
I'm already saving up my NIL. Yes.
Well, here's my thing. All right, we've seen it time and time again where, like, for example,
the Mannings.
I hate to bring up the name, but Thaddeus Moss, was a former NC State tight end who transferred to LSU. I still remember the story where Marshall offered him, and literally right when he got done, he literally said, "Thanks, but no thanks."
But it's different. I mean, Marshall's not a marquee program, if you will, right?
But being that his dad, I mean, his legacy is a huge part of Marshall. Being that Philip Rivers is a huge part of a legacy at NC State, do you not see him going somewhere where he's not looked at in his dad's shadow?
Yeah, no, I totally get that. I think Randy Moss, he started at Florida State and got kicked off there. So like that's a lot different, where he had to kind of fall back and Marshall kind of took him in. So I can see the why that would be the case, but I'm with you. I mean, you look at I just said Manning, right? Dad Arch Manning went to Mississippi. Peyton goes to Tennessee, to forge his, and of course, Eli, thank you. I just totally forgot his name. Eli went to Mississippi. So you see these guys, want to kind of make their own names, and but you always, some guys want to, carry in their footsteps of their parents, and they're inspired and want to take the same kind of journey. So I could see this playing either way. I will tell you, if history has taught us anything, Alabama and Auburn will have something to say in this, because they will not let another Rivers get out of their state and come back to haunt and bite them. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. And I think, I think his recruitment and his stars and rankings will only probably go up from there.
Agreed.
But
Yeah,
I'll take him.
that's well, and that's exactly my point too. Is like we're not talking like a 3-star guy that be pretty good, that isn't going to have some of those big time, but being that, just like you said, the Alabama, the Auburns, but even Tennessee's, etc., are going to come knocking on his door. That's as much money that we're going to have. That it already seems. I mean, unless he really does love NC State, but I don't know.
Maybe Dave Doran wins a national championship. He retires in the sunset, and maybe Philip Rivers wants to be the head coach, and then his kid comes here. I'm just saying, one can dream.
I mean, I remember there was those talks about when Dave Doran was a little bit on the warm seat of like, man, you think Philip Rivers, because he started his high school recruit head coaching stuff, and so I was like, well, hey, you think that he'd be NC State next to NC State football coach? But no, I'm putting my eyes fully set on Tony Gibson. That man's going to do wonders. But yeah, so
just having some fun.
Well, yeah, no, exactly. And I mean, I think with Gunner, it's going to be a huge uphill battle. But I mean, again, as much as I'm saying that I think that in most cases that players will want to go somewhere where they're going to have their own legacy, it could be that he's a closet huge NC State fan as well. It could be the opposite, where where it's going to be.
I mean, he's already wearing the right colors.
Exactly right. So we'll see what happens, but excited to see it. And
good for him.
Just like you said, Greg, we can only dream. So
yeah, I mean,
but anyway, the last one, dude, I think we honestly saved the best for last. But Braden Narveson, man, who just absolutely impressed in week 2 of the NFL preseason, kicking a 59-yard field goal and then hitting a walk-off field goal to win the game for the Tennessee Titans. So, I mean, I think that unfortunately for the kicking world and the NFL, it's kind of like, the who's who club. Like, there's just these guys that are just retreads that just kind of go from one team to the next, that are just very, very established. And so it's almost kind of like the Estate Club, where you got to be invited in. And so I think for Braden, that, I mean, he really does have a huge hill to climb even still, even though you may say, well, dude, he's kicking a 59-yarder and he's getting a walk-off, field goal. He should be in great shape. I think he's in good shape to have potential to make a squad for sure, but it's just tough.
Yeah, tough. He's going against Nick Folk, who's very established. He's 39 years old. It wouldn't surprise me if he wins that job, because I guarantee you Narveson's going to be a lot cheaper than a Nick Folk. But worst case, he's putting on good film. And look, the kickers. I think kickers are the most what's the word I'm looking for? Like, endangered job. Like, you miss one and you're gone type deal. Like the high pressure situation, like the risk reward of the kicking career is pretty, like, unless you're well established, like a who's the guy from the Ravens? I'm drawing a blank.
Justin Tucker.
Justin Tucker. Yeah, if you're like a Justin Tucker, you can miss a couple and you're going to be okay. If you're not, you miss one or two, especially in high pressure situations, you're going to be looking in the job market for either a new job or a new profession.
Yeah. No, exactly. So we'll see. Again, it would be super, super amazing. As again, we already have 2 punters in the NFL, and we'd love to add a kicker to it as well.
And State's had a history of kickers in the league. I mean, there's Jeff Christie comes to mind, Sebastian
Kowski.
Yep. So there's a couple more I could probably think of if you gave me a moment. But we've had success in that department. So, but it's been a minute since we've had a kicker in the NFL.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, though, y'all, so again, we're going to wrap it up there. Greg, any final thoughts, man, before we wrap up the show, brother?
Yeah, I think we're down to – no, I'm just kidding.
I know, right? 21 hours and 30 minutes, probably, give or
it's
take.
gonna be it's gonna be a long wait this weekend. I think it's gonna go slow, but we'll have football to keep us busy. We'll have some ACC action, and then if you're a really diehard and you want to stay up late, you got Delaware State against Hawaii. If you really want to watch football all day, all night from the comforts of your Barca lounger. So I am excited. We are just 5-6 days over until we're in game week. I mean, I figure next Sunday, right? You're officially in game week at that point. So
yeah,
it'll be here quick.
The only question which I have, Greg, is so I know that Coach Saban is going to be part of the College Game Day crew, but is Lee Corso not a part of the College Game Day
I hadn't
anymore?
heard anything official in either way. I know Pat McAfee came back, so that was one of the things. And I haven't heard anything about. I would think they would make an announcement for Lee Corso.
That'd be a big announcement.
Yeah, it would have to be.
Only reason why I said is because I saw a graphic where Lee Corso was not in it. But I would assume, I mean, College Game Day without Lee Corso, I mean, that would be just
you got to give that man his flowers. I think you got to send him off, and maybe because I mean it's definitely, you could definitely see that things are taking a toll on him. That's a lot of travel for someone in his age. He's late 80s.
He just turned 89.
Yeah, I was going to say 88, but 89. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he gets to do it remotely. I don't know. I still think he's got some value. Him doing analysis, it's a struggle, but obviously putting on the headgear is a game day tradition. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
That's right. Absolutely. But anyway, y'all. So again, super excited to get this pageantry back rolling, y'all. Kyle. Not
good
Kyle
luck
Stevens.
with your season.
No, good luck with your season, Kyle Stevens. But what was my name? It's Kyle Williams. Best of luck. Enjoy the game for sure. I think you'll love it.
Yeah.
And, make sure to tune in.
Join the Discord, and we'll give you all kinds of cool hints and tips. And then if you're looking for a tailgate, I'm sure someone can help you out there.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, part 3 of our season predictions comes out tomorrow at 4 p.m. So make sure you do not miss out on that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If that subscribe button is lighting up for you right now, that means you are not subscribed. Do that, as it is free to do. And make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified on all your devices whenever we go live with any NC State content, including episodes, live streams, you name it. And also to y'all, if you're excited about NC State football, please do us a big favor as well and hit that like button, as again, it really helps support us as well. And make sure you leave any comments that you have about our record predictions, as well as, again, we definitely want to hear y'all's thoughts in terms of, are we way off? Who do you think we're going to win and lose to? Let us know in the comments of our season predictions as well. Give us a follow, Tuffy Talk now on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Check out our Discord, which is in the comments section. Go and join today for free, and then join in on the crew. And then also, too, y'all, if you're listening to this on your podcast platforms, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, whatever it may be, make sure to leave us a 5-star review. But we greatly appreciate everybody that tunes in with us for sure. As again, we love joining all of y'all, again, being a part of Wolfpack Nation and being part of the greatest fan base in the country, y'all. And I can say this 100% unbiased for sure. But anyway, y'all, we appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all next Monday for the Tuffy Talk live show, where we'll be game week, baby. It's going to be a great show for sure. It's going to be awesome. So tune in then Monday night, 8 p.m. We'll see y'all then. And as always, go Pack, y'all.
Go Pack.